Alright, earlier today we looked at the worst units from every worldwide download celebration. So today, right now, we're going to look at the best unit from every worldwide download celebration, leading off with LRAGL Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, some people may say the STR Blues deserve to be in the spot. I disagree. Gogeta absolutely wipes, clears everything he does. Gogeta's counters, he has insane damage, he has crazy support, he has access to AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so he has so much going for him to be insanely dominant. I love this unit and what he can do, and again, he's so stylish, he's saucy, he's got mad aura. I mean, he's got to be the most fun unit in Dokkan history, right? Like, there's no one who does not think this unit is not fun to run, right? And that man's doing flips, he's waving at the camera, he has some of the insane, impact frames that you ever could see for this unit. I mean, and his active turn has got to be one of the strongest active turns I have ever seen in this game, minus Super Vegito. I think Super Vegeta is still technically, quote-unquote, more dominant, but just how flashy Gogeta looks on his active turn is pretty insane for how much damage he's quickly doing. Super Vegito whittles away at the enemy's health, but it takes time in the turn. Gogeta will like 3-shot a boss on that turn with his Dragon Fist buff up. So he is quite incredible in what he can do. He has his defense right away, so he doesn't need a super for it. He has it no matter what. He is quite impressive for a Carnival LR in Part 2. I don't think he's Beast Gohan levels of tankiness, but he is very strong and my current #1 in the entire game. Alright, next we're looking at the LR Tech Broly, and if you watched the last video, you know the conditions of this. This is not looking at how dominant they were on release. The list is looking at how well these units have not only did on release, but how well they aged, and Tech Broly has to be on this list. Now, some people already argue Tech Broly was the best unit anyways coming out of the 2024 Worldwide Download Celebration, but again, a lot of people, including me, like the Gohan better due to what he could do with the Family Kamehameha. You know how insanely powerful that was, and you could just one-shot Go Frieza with little to no work in order to set it up. So that's the reason why a lot of people liked the Gohan and what he could do. But if we're looking at in a little more of a broader scope, Broly aged Gohan significantly better. Gohan still is okay for a while, especially if you can get it to a standby, but Broly is just a far and a bit way better unit, and is still usable today, by the way, which is pretty impressive for a worldwide download celebration unit. This Broly is very strong, very tanky. Again, he is definitely showing signs of age due to this new Rose fight, but he is a very strong unit, and overall, the reason why he is on this list is for how tanky he is. Alright, the next unit is going to be LRSTR Future Gohan. He's just insane. His domain, his insane tankiness early in fights. I mean, he is quite strong. He's way better than Corrupted Zamasu and Vegito Blue, especially because you never got to see Vegito Blue. And same thing for Zamasu. It was really hard to get into the Infinite Zamasu. If both of those were easier, I would probably say Infinite Zamasu was one, Vegito Blue. Or sorry, Infinite Zamasu and Vegito Blue would have been better than Future Gohan, but the fact that Future Gohan got all of his stuff with ease allowed him to be so much better than those two because he was a very reliable tanking option for the team. And of course, his Dokkan original attack had some nice buffs and quarter that as well. And again, he had a domain, so he helped buff everyone around him for the superclass team. Again, that is the reason why Future Gohan is on this list. Over the other two. Again, if they had easier conditions, I could see the argument over Future Gohan, but Future Gohan had everything you could ever want right away. Alright, next is LR Tech Berku for the 2022 Cooler Worldwide Download Celebration. Again, I would like to put Cooler on this list, but I have to be realistic. Cooler did not age well at all, and Cooler was very fun, but Berku is a slot 1 unit with a revive, and was able to tank fairly well for a while. Again, I would still put Cooler as a very close second on this list, but again, Berku definitely deserves the nod as the dominant unit for the 2022 Worldwide Download Celebration. His EZA is coming up soon, along with the LRSGR Cooler, so I'm pretty excited to see what they do to these two, because these two are actually probably one of the closer headliners in Dokkan history. I mean, the Blues and Rose are definitely probably the closest. I guess we've had closer. I mean, I'm sure there's been closer ones, but yeah, they've had some. They were pretty close into dominance on release. So I'm pretty excited to see what they do with Berku and Cooler. And once again, Berku deserves the nod here for how tanky he was and the team protection mechanic he has with his revive. All right, next is the LRAGL Full Power Frieza. It's pretty crazy. We have an extreme unit on here. I know Broly's on here as well, but it is just, I don't know, it's pretty crazy to think that they would give Frieza the treatment over Namek Goku. Not that Frieza didn't deserve it, it's just I would think that they would give Namek Goku the treatment right away. But hey, I mean, Full Power Frieza was very good on release, allowed him to be very tanky. And it was basically the debate between him and MUI Goku, who was the number one in the game. I personally think, and many others thought, that MUI Goku was due to his dodging abilities, and I still would agree with that statement. But Full Power Frieza definitely was giving him a run for his money. Full Power Frieza, as a solid number 2 in the meta, was just better than what Namek Goku could offer in the meta. Again, they also had that nice wacky glitch they had on release that was pretty cool, I guess, to see, but it was just not enough to give anyone the edge over Frieza. He was just a better unit, well more rounded. And again, he has the ability to crit against Goku, which is a lot easier to see than critting against, you know, Frieza, which you're not going to see that often. And the reason why, once again, he is on this list. All right, the next one is a 2020 Worldwide Download Celebration unit, LRSTR Super Vegito. Not shocking that he is on this list either. He's a fusion. Of course, they're going to give him the treatment. I don't really know the last time I've seen a fusion get outshined by anyone else. So, again, it's not shocking that LRSTR Super Vegito is on this list. Once you could transform into Super Vegito, he was a monster, and back then it wasn't too hard because the bosses would hit just hard enough to get you down under 70% HP, so then you could fuse right into Super Vegito and just start going crazy. It was pretty cool because at the same time you could like get under 70% HP, pop the fusion into Super Vegito, and then at the same time, once you got back to full health, you could absorb Gohan and go into Buhan. It was pretty fun because they allowed you to run both of them on the same team on Majin Buu Saga. It was just fun to run, of course, but the Super Vegito was doing crazy damage. They gave him the Kakarot animation. He was saucing with his counters. He was, I don't know, they made him look really good. I'm really excited with what they could do later on with the Vegito in the future, but his EZA was definitely a disappointment. It wasn't bad, but, you know, definitely could have been more for sure. But again, on release and how he aged, definitely better than Bootang's on release. All right, let's talk about the Gohan, who was a defensive monster and had one of the best leader skills in Dokkan history. That's the LRAGL Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the Kamehameha category. Just impressive stuff that he got to do, and it's even more impressive that he was doing it without even being able to transform, because you were basically never transforming with that Gohan, and so you were essentially playing with Super Saiyan Gohan the entire time. So I'm pretty glad that they made his kit in the base form pretty strong, because if it wasn't, we would have been there forever. But the ability to go up to 170% attack and defense in base form allowed him to be really good. And of course, he's also raising defense every time he supers, whether 18 key or the 12 key, just allowed him to be a tanky menace compared to the Gohan in Super Saiyan 2, who's definitely more attack forward, but he can get enough orbs to be pretty defensive as well. But really, the fact that the base form was that good is just the reason why he is on this list right now, and why he is such a great unit and one to be remembered in Dokkan history. Alright, let's talk about one of the hardest hitting units in Dokkan history, and that is the LR Tech Goku and Frieza. Guess the reason why they are the best unit on this list. They were doing damage we almost could not fathom when they came out. Not only that, but their animation was definitely an upgrade in the budget direction for the game. I mean, they had some very... I mean, if you compare part 1, part 2, you would not think they were part of the same celebration. I mean, their animations were incredible, and then again, they were hitting ridiculously hard. I mean, again, they were hitting some crazy numbers. I mean, yeah, it's quite insane what they were able to do. They were so much fun to run. The Reps in Universe 17 was all right, but they were just one of the most dominant units in Dokkan history, especially as a Part 2 LR. They were just mowing through bosses. There was nothing you could do about it. Just they showed up and bloop, dead, bloop, dead, bloop, dead. And again, they had one of the craziest leader skills on release too, with 177% to Reps of Universe 7. I don't even remember if we had I think we were in the meta of the 70% leads at that time, but still, it's just like, that's some insane leader skill for earlier in the game that you cannot even think of like, you would even fathom of, like, oh, that's That's pretty crazy. Because it's a 2018 unit, by the way. It's a 2018 unit. And keep that in perspective, is 1 year before, it was Omega Shenron and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who were only 150% leads, and he comes out with 177% lead, doing insane damage, lowering stats, amazing animations. I mean, he was incredible, and the reason why he's on this list. All right, finally, we have the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. We started with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. We're going to end with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was not too much different than what they were doing with Fizz Omega Shenron, but the reason why he was good was, one, he got stats on Super, unlike Omega, and two, he was able to counter any super attack in the game. 70% chance to counter any super attack in the game allowed him to be so broken, and the 70% chance too. It is pretty insane how well he was just able to just stop everything in the game. He had amazing animations. His leader skill was not that great though. The Omega Shenron's leader skill was definitely better, but again, the reason why Gogeta's on this list is just how dominant his kit was, and of course you could pair him with either of the Super Saiyan 4s to allow him to perform even better. Again, it is pretty cool what they did with this Gogeta, and I'm pretty excited to see what they do for his Super EZA. I don't remember his EZA being that memorable, but he is one of my favorite units in Dokkan history for the nostalgic factor. I do remember pulling this Gogeta in the Mega, looking at their animations. I love the Omega's SSR animation. But again, I mean, it is pretty cool to see what they're able to do. I'm looking at his EZA kit right now. They didn't really change too much. They just allowed him to get stats for every super attack he performed for 5 turns. And then he had a high chance of being effective against all types. I would imagine it's going to be guaranteed effective against all types by the time we get to his Super EZA. But for now, we get to deal with the EZA Ink Gogeta, and we have the LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So we got tons of Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas in this game right now. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys agree with the units that I think are the best for each of their respective celebrations? Or do you disagree and think some of these other ones should be considered over some of these guys? Let me know in the comments below. The first the first link is going to be to all my voice content, and the second one is going to be to all my Dokkan Battle content. And I'll see you guys in the next one.